Morning, everybody. Jeff and Nikki Kai with Keller Williams Real Estate in Park City, Utah. Today we're with Ace Allak again from People's Home Equity. Good morning, Ace.
How you doing? Good morning.
Good. Just checking in with you to see how things are going in the mortgage world. Give an update out there.
Yeah, things are good. You know, we're seeing a little bit of pushback on jumbo loans lately. Even with 20 and 25, they've gotten resistance. So if you're qualified or you're looking at those, double check with your lender, make sure it's tight. Guys, I do believe jumbo loans will be back in the next couple months, full force. I think 3 to 4 months is our guess. But for right now, we're still seeing resistance on those. On the positive note, we've been involved in a lot of multiple offers lately. And 9 offers on some properties, 5, 7, 5, all in the last 7 days. You know, I think there's pent-up demand and people who are looking, are optimistic and ready to buy. You know, so that's been my observation. How about you guys?
Yeah, that's great. We've actually been involved with a couple as well. And I think what a lot of lenders and agents need to kind of figure out is how we can work together to make the presentation even better for our clients and present the best offer possible. So as a lender, how would you go about that? What would you recommend? You
know, Jeff, I'm going to tell them about before the call. I was asking Jeff how many lenders call Jeff and Nikki on a listing when they get multiple offers, and they both shook their head and go none at the same time. And if you're a buyer out there and you're making an offer on a competitive home, call your lender and have them call the listing agent. It makes a difference, right? Some do it on their own, most will not. Initiate that. You know, have your lender call them. They don't have to give details, but they can say things like high FICO score, wage earner, low complexity. You know, those are awesome things that listing agents love hearing that kind of stuff. Yeah. Obviously, only say it if it's true, but if your lender's doing their job, you should be pretty solid. You know.
From a listing agent perspective, we can confirm that hearing directly from the lender is way powerful because first of all, we know that there's made the outreach has happened. That means they've had a conversation, more than often started filling out some paperwork. And so from personal experience, we can say a form letter that is generated automatically online does not work anymore for offers. And so we would love to chat with you. Besides a direct reach out telephone conversation, what else can you provide, you know, outside a standard form letter? And how does that look from a buyer's perspective?
You know, in the context of multiple offers, working with a reputable local lender helps. You know, I don't want to pick on big banks because we do a lot of work with big banks. We are a big bank on some level. We're medium size, medium plus. But it doesn't, the truth is, there's a concern with listing agents that if you're sending in a pre-approval letter from just your credit union or your bank, that if something goes sideways, if there's an issue, that the timelines aren't as committed. And that's based on real experience. It is what it is, you know.
That would be our feedback as well. So the offers that we were dealing with, 2 of them had pre-qualification letters that virtually said in fine print that this is by no way an approval. They haven't applied for an application yet. And another one was actually a full approval stating that they had verified income and assets. So it carried a lot of weight.
Yeah, and the difference there, so you know, is that FDIC insured banks, they don't only do mortgages. They do auto loans, checking accounts, savings accounts. So generally they're, you know, maybe 20% mortgage loan revenue. So it's not the main business and bread and butter. Funds are allocated accordingly. They do a good job if it's straightforward. A mortgage bank who only does mortgage banking is what you're looking for, because that's going to be their bread and butter. It's how they build their service. It's how they build especially if there's any complexity. And by complexity, I mean self-employed, a change in job in the last 12 months. You know, those are all things that could be anticipated and avoided. Better to be addressed early in the process so that when you make an offer, there's no surprises. I mean, look, guys, it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help the person buying the house. It doesn't help the person selling the house. Doesn't help the agents who it takes more time for. I mean, if you really want to do what's right for people, you know, lenders should be doing their job and communicating with the listing agent. And listing agents, you guys should be calling the lenders on every offer.
Awesome. So just to wrap up, so in this, and it seems weird because we have clients from all over the country whose market is different, but we're going to speak specifically to the Utah market, that if you want to be competitive in a multiple offer situation, the easiest thing from a mortgage standpoint and presenting your best foot forward is to present a really solid pre-approval letter and an offer to reach out from the lender, having a personal conversation to the listing agent, assuring that they have, yes, filled out an application and it's either in process or has been approved. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Awesome. Okay, guys, well, that wraps up this week's mortgage update and market insight. We look forward to chatting with you next week. And Ace, if someone wants to chat or get pre-approved, how do they reach you?
Just call me at 801-694-6439 or email us at aceteam@peopleshomeequity.com. Again, that's aceteam, ACETEAM, @peopleshomeequity.com. Appreciate you guys. Have an awesome day.
Thanks,
Take
Ace.
care.
Catch you next week.